Tell me about as far as like the gear that you use, and like I know that you say that boxes show up at your house often, so it's like getting new gear is super fun. What's your kind of main go-to pieces that you use?
I I will always have a Jones for a large format console, but right now I can't justify it, and I don't know what it would do for me that I'm not already doing. So, I'm Pro Tools HDX or Ultimate or whatever they're calling it this week.
Yeah.
That's the main DAW that I use. I have used Reaper in the past, but I was doing some stuff where we would track it here and it was mixed elsewhere, LA or Chicago. So just use Pro Tools and get it over with, right?
Sure.
My converters are all Antelope Audio. Pre's, I love the Hairball Audio Lolas for drums. That's, if I could only have one pre, that's the one. I love that pre. And then there are a couple other specialized pre's. The Universal Audio LA610, I use that for vocals most of the time. So that's mostly the front end.
Yeah.
As you know, you've seen this place through 3 different sets of monitors, but these were my dream monitors for years, and they came up with a deal that I couldn't beat, so I had to get them.
Nice,
So,
nice. And then we also have the Trinov system in here, the ST2 Pro, and that's a game changer too. I know that you had been working in the studio for years before you got the Trinov, and that was, what was that experience like for you?
well, let me say, first of all, the Trinov is the icing on the cake,
Yeah.
and you were the cake, you know, and you got me 90% of the way there. But what you told me in the very beginning is be aware that in a control room this size, there will always be a primary resonance at about 100 hertz or 150 hertz, and then there's a dip right after that. There's no way around that. So you're doing the car check, going out and checking your low end in the car and coming in and tweaking stuff. You and I spoke about ways to fix that low end lump. And you said, you might want to check out this company called Trinov. They have some really neat stuff going. So I talked to my sales rep at Vintage King, and he sent me a unit, and he says, if you don't like it, send it back. But I can guarantee you're not going to send it back. And he was right. So it was a game changer.
Yeah.
Total mind. I mean, I don't do car checks anymore.
Yeah.
It is absolutely amazing to have that unit, turn it on.
Yeah.
And if you bypass it and listen, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, because it does so many things, not only the EQ changes, but then also just the time alignment of the speakers and imaging that pops out. And it's one of those things where in a good room, what's great is that the Trinov doesn't have to work too hard. You know, like if you put it in a room with no treatment, then it's I've heard some people say that it just sounds a little unnatural, and so in a room like this that's well treated, it's
definitely not a replacement for what you do.
Sure.
It's the last 5 or 10%, but man, what a 10% it is.
Yeah,